thanks for being here. There must be, people who must have read something about this work that we've been doing. There has been some prior, like trainings which we have done online, and one can call me brave of about 4 years of our work. And we started thinking that there's a lot of work done on price, but there's only one thing that makes money, and that's time. Because if there was no price, and if there was a watch, there was a clock, and that was, if it clicked once, it was a buy, and if it clicked twice, it was a sell. Would you need anything else? So now this sounds very tough to believe, if somebody tells us that there's a gold mine in that direction, you have to go direct, go straight, go left, do this turnarounds, and you'll reach a gold mine. Just for me to believe in a gold mine doesn't make money for you. I'm just sharing my conviction, what I have. I'm going to show you things, and you have to judge for yourself whether this is something which can make money. The lecture or the notes have two parts. One part is that we're going to take you through some history of cycles, like where did the cycle start and how did it evolve, and various works being done on cycles. And we're going to try to connect with what were the missing gaps in that work, and then we're going to build it to what we have done, how we have extended the idea. So cycles are always talked about. We always talk about it. We are technicians and we use RSI, which is a very popular indicator. We always use a 14-period RSI, and we always use a certain value grade. We always use cycles. The stock market, though may trade 24 hours a day, but there is few hours a day that it runs with big volumes, and then there is an easy time. So cycles are all over the place, and they are talked a lot, but they are not used. They are seen but not accepted. We see cycles everywhere. Everything has cyclical nature. They say sell in May and go away, and maybe some cycles will stop working. But we have seasonal cycles, we have annual cycles, we have daily cycles. They say Friday evening markets go to sleep, or Fridays are generally stagnation days, or January effect, or all kind of effects which repeat are cyclical. Anything which is coming again and again is cyclical. If head and shoulder is coming again and again, it's cyclical. You see head and shoulder all over the place. So cycles are not about something which is a kind of inverted U which comes again and again. Cycles are about patterns repeating. Repetitive patterns are cycles. And if somebody here would say that markets don't have repeating patterns, then I have no business of being here and speaking. So repetition is cyclical. Then we preach about it, but we don't practice it. We think cycles are for the astrologers, or cycle, or for the astronomers, or cycles are for the scientists. And then we say there are fundamental guys, there are fundamental analysts, and there are technical analysts, and we always forget the cyclists. And if you do Google search, you get bicycle. You don't get time cyclists. So time cyclist is even today on Google also, it's not searched. You don't find it. So cyclist for the world today is a bicycle. Is it not very strangely such generation of research being done and such seasonality being studied, and only thing you find on Google is bicycle. So there are 2 points here. One is that if it doesn't exist on Google, that doesn't mean it's not a science. It can be a science if it's not found on Google, and Google is not the ultimate thing to find such things. And second, it's not only for astrologers. I'm going to explain you how. There's another thing I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the geometry of time, and I'm going to extend that geometry to an indicator which you can use. And I'm going to use that indicator to build a risk management tool that you can manage money with. So there are three things I want to talk about. I want to talk about geometry. I'm going to talk about an indicator built from that geometry, and I'm going to speak about a risk management tool that you can use to make money. It's a portfolio tool, or it's an individual asset tool. So some historical work on cycles. There is a 510-year world dominance cycle where there is a movement from back to Europe to Asia, and this 510-year cycle has turned in 1984. So all the people who are here sitting today will always see Asia in the news, China in the news, India in the news, because this is a 510-year-old cycle which has historical examples how these cycles have worked from 670 BC and ahead. We have Genghis Khan, and we have US follows Europe, and we have all 510-year cycle. You know, panics. We always try to give cause and effect. Cause and effect is one very strong reason why cycles are not accepted. We always try to give cause that there is an earning because of which a stock should rise. There is a profit because of which a valuation should grow, and because of which a price should rise. There have been historical examples when fundamentally positive earnings have not led to stock prices rising. So there have been a lot of times when good news comes and stocks don't rise. So cause and effect feel good, but they are not very statistically strong. They are not very statistically powerful. So you can believe in cause and effect because we are an information society. If we believe in information, how can we believe that cause and effect doesn't work? But if you have to understand cycles, or if you have to believe in cycles, you somewhere have to detach from the cause and effect. I'm not telling you to close the door to cause and effect, that A has happened, so B should happen. I'm telling you to be open to the fact that cycles work, and they don't need a cause and effect, because they're an order. There's an order which keeps happening. So like panics, they have been, this is a historical example taken from the foundation of cycles. Panics, number of panics rising, number of panics falling. So it's a panics index. And so most of the panics starting from 150 years back have followed a certain cycle. Now that cycle is basically the distance between the two lows. That they rise in number, fall in number, rise in number. So there is some repetition in number of panics around the world. Now cause and effect might have happened, and information might have come, somebody must have robbed a bank, or some cause may have happened, but information came and the panic happened when it was supposed to happen. So then we have some other one, which is General Electric company sales. So we have the dash one. We have the dash one here. The dash one is the idealized cycle. Idealized is the projected cycle. This is how the General Electric sales should happen. They should go up, and they should go down, and they should go up, and the solid black line is the actual data of General Electric sales. So whether we do a GE sales or whether we do a real estate activity now, how many people would find it so tough to believe that real estate would ever come down? There was time when real estate was, nobody wanted to buy real estate. Now everybody wants to buy real estate. We thought, now I've been advised in my small trip to Bombay that if I have a 5 crore apartment, I should not sell it, because if you put money in a bank, that's not going to make you more money. If you leave it there, it becomes 15 crores. So the idea is that we forget cyclicality when we start looking at a trend. So this is a real estate activity cycle which has shown cyclicality like anything else, and there is an idealized cycle which is the dashed line, and then there is a solid line. So real estate activity is also cyclical, though there are large cycles, but they also move cyclically. Then anything else, we talk about building, like construction, building activity. So that also is cyclical. Sometimes we don't have data, so the cycle motor sales. They were making cars, and suddenly war happened, and when the war stopped, the cycle resumed. The cycle restarted again. So the phenomena is endless in terms of me proving to you that not only natural systems, but also businesses are cyclical. Then these commodities, cotton, everything has its cycle, even like solvencies and even interest rates. Interest rates are one of the few things which are assumed to be controlled by the central bank. And even this one, as you can see, has a cyclical structure. There is a large idealized structure which is the dashed line, and then we have this the real activity marked by this solid line. So most of these things are cyclical. Okay, now we go to prices or price action. So we come from a business intrinsic variable, which is car sales or manufacturing or real estate activity, a sector, to actual prices. So even in actual prices, international prices, we see the same cyclicality happening. Even in battles, even if you talk about international battles, you still see some structure of seasonality happening. So, and the moment we start going into say like dividend yield, there is a time when markets offer more dividend yield, and there is a time when market offers less yield. So generally it happens, the market offers more yield when nobody wants to buy stocks. Market offers less yield when everybody wants to buy stocks. We are not concerned about yields when markets are at the top. We are concerned about yields when markets are at the bottom. When they are at the top, we are concerned about capital growth. When markets are at the bottom, we are concerned about dividend. Will my capital conserve? So even dividend yields are also have been seen to be cyclical. And then we talk about price structures. If we talk about price structures, this is the dollar price structure, and we can see large price lows, multi-year lows, similar lows, similar time, equivalent time. When we will talk about equality of time, but to assume at this point in time that time or cycles are similar. To expect equality from time is very hard. How can you expect equality from time? How can you say a bull market has to last 5 years every time? How can you expect a bull market to ride or last 5 years every time? It's very tough assumption. So if you can't expect happiness to be similar or equal to be sorrow, and winters to be equal to be the same as summers, you can't expect cycles to be equal. But we fail to use cycles in our life because we expect equality. So we are expecting equality, and equality is a part of cyclicality. Proportion is a more important part of science. So this was a dollar index, which is which has a proportional period when it has made large lows. And now this chart is an old chart, and it's suggested 1.5 years back that dollar should not break the 2010 lows. So dollar has not broken the 2010 lows. We'll talk about it more. Then if we talk about longer term cycles, there have been a lot of interest in cycles because we feel okay, cycle चलते हैं, but longer term में ज़्यादा चलते हैं. मेरे सट्टे में नहीं चलते. It doesn't work in my intraday signal, but it works pretty well in. It's a more of an academic science than it is about a real science or a practical science. So to show you a little bit about longer term cycles, this is a 3,000-year interest rate cycle. 3,000-year interest rate cycle, which mentions that which suggests that we are at a low, historical low of a lifetime, of a civilization,